Coming up on Mountain News this morning, an Eastern Kentucky community is the focus of a new episode of a documentary series. And the New Music and Mud Festival in Whitley County this weekend will serve as a collection point for a community project.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this Friday, October 17th. We're at 6:31 this morning, and we are ready for a check of our weather with meteorologist Megan Dusmall. And Megan, we've got weather going on, and it's your turn to talk about it.
Yeah, you're so right. We do have weather going on. Here's what you need to know as you're going into your day. A little bit of a chilly start for some folks. We're looking at a range of the 30s to the 40s with the coolest temperatures 34 in Clintwood, and then warmer as we travel towards Monticello in the low 50s. Right now at the London Corbin Airport, we're looking nice and clear. Temperatures at 44 degrees. And this afternoon, we'll warm into the low to mid 70s for most folks. But there are some chances for upper 70s out and about. 78 in Somerset, Monticello. 77 is the high for Manchester and Middlesboro. Now, if you are heading off to that game of the week, we have the Martin County Cardinals playing the Floyd Central Jaguars. We're going to be looking at some cloudy skies for this game, and temperatures will be in the mid-60s at kickoff, and not going to see too much of a temperature change by the time we know who wins the game. And if you're heading to Lexington this weekend, 7 p.m. against Texas, kickoff 77 degrees, cooling down to 70 by the time the Cats win. Amelia.
Thank you, Megan. Kentucky State Police in Pike County are looking for a couple of men in reference to an investigation. If you take a look at your screen, you can see those two men. Troopers say the men are wanted in connection to an investigation in the Belfry area. If you have any information, you're asked to contact KSP Post 9 at 606-433-7711. Some people may have noticed more traffic enforcement officers on Cherry Blossom Way and I-75 in Scott County this past week. Georgetown police say they identified a need to patrol the area due to the high number of crashes they've recorded there since the start of the year. The most recent happened Tuesday night and resulted in serious injury. One picture police showed of the incident was when one driver was going about 92 miles an hour.
It can slow down your reaction time. You're not able to react to a vehicle or debris in the roadway. Number two, it takes you a lot longer to stop if you needed to stop in a hurry. Another reason is it reduces the ability for the vehicle that has all these safety features. If the high speed like that, the safety features are still not going to protect you like they should.
Chief says they were surprised at the outcome of their patrol that day. He says many drivers were also driving distracted. Representatives from Senator Rand Paul's office visited Johnson County yesterday to announce plans for a new project all about growing tourism in the mountains. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has those details.
Things to see, the culture to experience, and the people to get to know.
A new partnership is planting plans for tourism and economic growth in Eastern Kentucky.
My team and leaders of Eastern Kentucky have been brainstorming to come up with a more unified way to market the beauty of Appalachia.
Senator Rand Paul's office hosted an event Thursday, laying the groundwork for a new trail, currently being called the Driving Leaf Trail and Blossom Byway.
Every season here tells a story, and now, through this trail, visitors from across the country will be invited to see it, feel it, and take a little piece of that story with them home.
The mission is to connect tourism touchstones throughout the region, creating a wider net that will bring more people to experience Eastern Kentucky, reimagining the back roads as a driving destination, branching off into unique communities.
You know, it's beautiful in Eastern Kentucky. It's all of the splendor, none of the stress, one scenic mile at a time, and we want to bring that to the rest of the country.
The program is kicking off with 24 counties with 8 established legs of the tour, but aims to provide a platform for small town spotlights that will bring more families, funds, and future development to the entire region.
All of this has to be collaborative between the people who are the real stakeholders, and those are the people of Eastern Kentucky who are working so hard to do such amazing tourism activities.
The program will not rely on federal funding, but the buy-in of its community partnerships for everything from marketing to road signs.
It's about celebrating Appalachia, showcasing the beauty of the region and creating new opportunities for people who call these mountains home.
Those involved say the blueprint could look a lot like the Bourbon Trail or the Kentucky Wildlands Waterfall Trail, highlighting different attractions that offer a taste of Appalachian culture.
Everyone's been doing so well in their areas, but if we can combine together, the feedback has been it'll be unstoppable.
In Johnson County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
Officials say the plans are still in the early development stages, so nothing is set in stone, including the name of the trail. Well, Eastern Kentucky community is the focus of a new episode of a documentary series. It's called Empowered by Meg Ryan. This episode is about Buckhorn Therapeutic Center. CEO Joy Delisle says one goal of the documentary is to break the stigma surrounding the behaviors of foster children and to encourage people throughout the country to foster.
There are so many kids who really need those nice, loving, supportive homes. And I think the other part is, you know, as we talk about Buckhorn and its legacy here is just to kind of remind people that we are here. We've been here for almost 125 years now. We're continuing to grow and to evolve.
Those with Buckhorn Therapeutic Care say the goal is for the episode to be released at the end of this year or the beginning of next year. Well, it was a fun night in downtown Hazard celebrating WYMT's 40th anniversary, which is actually Sunday. WYMT joined the Thursdays on the Grand event, which happens twice a month from May to October if the weather cooperates. And it certainly did last night. Many current and former WYMT employees joined us live during the 6 o'clock news to cut our anniversary cake. We talked to WYMT and WKYT General Manager Jamie Kawaja about the future, and Louise Sizemore, one of the first employees hired at WYMT in 1985, who stayed for 30 years.
We're taking things to a streaming level, which, you know what, the TV is still the most important. TV drives digital and TV drives search. But as long as we give viewers information, education, and saving lives, that's all we're concerned about.
And even though I retired in 2015, I still consider it my mountain family, my station. I will be out driving and I'll say, there's one of our vehicles, or there's one of, I still consider it, and I'll always feel that way about it.
You can see more of our anniversary celebration coverage on WYMT.com and the WYMT News app. We'll also have a special anniversary edition on Sunday night at 6. The University of the Cumberlands has a new president. Dr. Quentin Young has officially assumed the role of the 11th president in the university's 137-year history. He succeeds Dr. Larry Cockrum, who's transitioning to the role of president emeritus. Recruiting and retaining teachers became part of the discussion yesterday as lawmakers met with school superintendents. Education Commissioner Robbie Fletcher says it comes down to compensation. He says his own son recently told him that he'd like to be a teacher, but has to consider the pay.
But he said, Dad, I know you're a commissioner, but I can't be an educator because I can't make a good living wage. And that's an issue that I only hear in my home. I hear that a lot when you talk to students. When you go into colleges and universities, they talk about they're not going to go into the education field because of the compensation.
Some lawmakers indicated they're willing to talk teachers' pay. Yesterday's discussion was hosted by the Kentucky Educational Development Cooperation. Nights are starting to get cooler, and a first frost and eventually freeze is just around the corner. Many could see their first frost as early as next week. For some plants, it's truly over once we get a first hard freeze. But with a frost, there are still some things you can do to save your plants.
You have things that are in the ground, and moving is not an option. I'd keep some old painter blankets. You know, what works really, really well is the drop cloths, not plastic, but the old kind of a heavy, almost canvasy type.
He says it's a good year for plants if the first killer frost of the year happens after October 21st. A new festival is kicking off this week in Whitley County. The Music and Mud Festival is happening at the fairgrounds in Williamsburg. That three-day event features local and regional artists and bands with gospel, bluegrass, and country southern rock on the schedule. Along with the music, there's a demo derby Friday night and a mud bog Saturday afternoon. Folks are welcome to bring blankets and lawn chairs to sit on while they enjoy the music.
We really wanted to give our local artists a chance to play in their hometown, play in their home county, and to show people how much talent we have here in Whitley County.
There will also be food and local charity booths, but it is a cash-only event and tickets will be sold at the door. And we have all those details about costs listed on our website, WYMT.com.
We're looking nice and clear this morning. You're going to see a little bit of clouds starting to form as we're going through the next couple hours, but altogether dry for your Friday. Now, in terms of what you can expect temperature-wise, though, I can tell you it's going to be cold, so you need to wear your coat for some folks, especially as you're traveling into Clintwood. 34 degrees is that current temperature. It's going to warm up, though, so there's the good news. And while we see those clouds joining in, temperatures will warm from where we're seeing them this morning into a mixture of the 70s. Mainly the low to mid 70s will be that temperature range. Amelia.
Thanks, Megan, and thank you so much for joining us on Mountain News this morning at 6:42. Can weighted vests truly help improve your workout? We'll let you know on what health experts have to say about the fitness craze sweeping social media coming up next.
Travel for